Dear friends, welcome to his American I.E.L.T.S Training Center. Take your Cambridge, the grammar for I.E.L.T.S International English Level Testing System, the page number 19B and 20A. So we have come here to the grammar part, the past perfect simple. What do you mean by past perfect simple? Perfect means what you have to have. You have to have a past participle, eaten, spoken, written. Past perfect, present perfect means have plus eaten or have plus spoken, have plus gone. Past perfect means had plus gone, had plus sung, had plus eaten, right? So past perfect simple, the structure which you are going to see. So had plus past participle. So present tense, past tense, past participle, right, wrote, written, had written, had spoken, had listened. See here, they had listened to his music, right? So they had listened to music. Where do you use this past perfect? That's what you're going to see. In negative term, had not plus past participle. See, this is positive, this is negative. Had not plus past participle. Hadn't, you say. You can say hadn't. See, they hadn't listened to his music. They hadn't listened to his music. So past perfect negative. When you want to go in for question, had plus past participle. Had plus the subject. Had they listened to his music? Had they listened to his music? So see here, what is this? Past perfect. What do you have to use? See here in positive, had listened. Negative, hadn't listened. For question, had listened. Right, sir? So where do we use the past perfect simple, sir? We have seen present tense, where to use speak. We use past tense, spoke. We used present continuous, is speaking, are speaking. Past continuous, was speaking, were speaking. Present perfect, have spoken. Had spoken, where do you use had spoken, sir? Had listened, had eaten, had written. We use the past perfect simple. Number one, the first place is when we are talking about the past. When we are talking about the past, we are using past perfect. Very simple, isn't it? It looks so. And want to mention something that happened earlier. What do you mean by that? See, past one action. Before that, one other action has happened. You got it, sir? I had taken my breakfast and came to the class. What do you mean by that? One action has happened earlier. Then you are using past perfect. Earlier means what? Before one action, one other action has happened. I had got 90% marks in my plus 2. So I got admission in Anna University, right? I got admission in Anna University. Earlier what happened? I had got good marks, right, sir? So earlier what has happened? There you are using past perfect. Are you clear about it? Yes. This is the number one place, sir. His father was a composer. His father was a composer, right, sir? His father was a composer and his grandfather had also been a musician. What do you mean by composer, sir? Composer is a musician. Ilayaraja, A.R. Rahman, they are composers, sir. They are musicians. So his father was a composer and his grandfather, you are using past perfect, had been. Had also been a musician, right, sir? What do you mean by that? His father was a composer. Earlier, his grandfather had also been a musician. So, when you want to say about the earlier incidents, then you are using past perfect. Are you clear? I'm sure you must be clear. Musrat. Musrat is a musician, right? Grandfather was a musician. So Musrat was he was a musician. His grandfather also was a musician. And then later his father became a composer, right? Musrat grandfather was a musician. And then later his father became a composer. This is the meaning, sir. The meaning of this sentence is father. His father means what? Musrat's father was a composer and his grandfather had also been a musician. The meaning of that is Musrat's grandfather was a musician and then later his father became a composer, right, sir? You are saying in order. Musrat's grandfather was a musician. Then after that, his father became a musician. Then Musrat became a musician. Here, Musrat's father was a composer and his grandfather had also been a musician. So you are going back where? From father to grandfather. Here, from grandfather to father. From grandfather to father, you are using was. From father to grandfather, you are going back earlier. Then you are using past perfect. Are you clear? I'm sure you must be clear. Right? Sometimes, not every time, sometimes we use words like, what are the words? Just. Very important word, just. For present perfect, you are using just. Past perfect, you are using just. What do you mean by just? Just. Now, recently. Just or already. Already also you are using for present perfect. And for past perfect also you are using already. Just and already. Notice that these adverbs, just and already are adverbs. What do you mean by adverbs? Adding something to the verb, right? He came. When did he come? Just now. You ask a question when, the answer you get is called adverb. When did he come? Just now. So just and already are the adverbs, right, sir? So notice that these adverbs go between the auxiliary and the main verb. So this just and already should come in between. Had seen, had just seen. Had seen. When you want to put already, where do you put? Had already seen. Had already gone. Had already spoken. Had already done the project. Right? This just and already should come in between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. What are the auxiliary verbs? Had is the auxiliary verb and the verb is seen or spoken or written. So in between you are using just and already. Are you clear? Yes, I am sure you must be clear. Now coming here, by the time, see, by the time he was 17, who? Musrat. Musrat is a musician. His father was a musician. His grandfather had also been a musician, right? So, generations together, third generation. So, when he was 17, it is in the past tense. By the time he was 17, Musrat reputation. What do you mean by reputation, sir? His popularity, his status. What do you mean by reputation? Status, fame, name. So by the time he was 17, Musrat's reputation had already begun. Begin? What is the past tense? Begin. Began. What is past participle? Begun. Begin. Began. Begun. Begin. Began. Begun. Had already begun. So already is coming between auxiliary verb had and begin, the main verb. To spread through Europe, right? So this is the first place we are using. When do you use had, son? The number one place. Had is used when you want to talk about some incidents which happened earlier, right? So, and already and just are used in between the had auxiliary verb and the main verb. Eaten or spoken or begun, right? Are you clear about it? I'm sure you must be clear. Now coming here to the next point. Second place. Second place, we are using the past simple. We use the past simple tense if the events are mentioned in chronological order. What do you mean by chronological order, sir? Chronological. We use the past simple. Completely different. We are not using past perfect. We are using only past tense. What is the past tense of eat? What is the past tense of sleep? Slept. What is the past tense of write? Wrote. So the past tense, now you are not using past perfect, you are using only past tense. You are not using present perfect, you are using only the past. So you want to show the difference between past perfect and past. What is the difference between had eaten and ate? What is the difference between had gone and went? What is the difference between had spoken and spoke? We are finding out the difference between past perfect and past tense. So we use the past simple tense if the events are mentioned in chronological order. Chronological order means what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Morning, I got up at 6 o'clock. I ate my breakfast at 8 o'clock. I came to college at 10 o'clock. I went and had a tea at 11 o'clock. Chronologically, when you want to say some past some events, chronologically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, top to bottom, in order, then you are using past tense. When you're going back means what? Not in chronological order. Earlier, from down to top. Then you are using past perfect. Find out the difference between past tense and past perfect. Are you clear about it? I'm sure you must be clear about it. Are you clear? Huh? I did this. Next I did this. Third I did this. Actions in chronological order, past tense. And when you want to tell about something which happened earlier, then you are using past perfect had plus past participle. Are you clear? Yes, you must be clear. See here, his grandfather was a musician. Right? Whose grandfather? Musrat's grandfather was a musician, is a past tense. Now chronologically order you are coming. And his father was also a composer. Right? Grandfather was a musician. Father was a musician. Right? My great grandfather was a teacher. My father was a collector. And what is that? You can say in order. Right? You got it. Yes, sir. Now, dear friends, we have finished one first place where you use the past perfect. When you want to mention about the earlier incidents, you are using past perfect. When you want to say something in chronological order which happened in the past tense, you are using past tense, ordinary past tense. Now coming here to the third place, the words with words like, what are the words? When. See, like when. The words like when. When it comes in front of a sentence, when did you come? When means what? Interrogative. But when is coming in between, that is the problem, right? So, with words like when, as soon as means what? Immediately, as soon as, by the time, at that particular time, by the time. So, when, as soon as, by the time. When, as soon as, by the time. Next word, after. So, with words like when, as soon as, by the time, after also one other word, to show the order of events. Order of events. What is that order of events? See here, when Musrat is a composer like Ilayaraja, like A.R. Rahman. When Musrat was born. See, when Musrat was born. So is it past tense or present tense? Past perfect. Which is that? Past tense. When Musrat was born, 5 of his siblings. Siblings means what? Brothers and sisters. When Musrat was born, 5 of his brothers and sisters had already died. Means what? Had already died means what? When Musrat was born, 5 of his siblings, 5 of his brothers and sisters had already died, right, sir? So when you are using, when do you use past perfect had already died? You are using with when. When I went to office, the office had already closed. When I went to the theater, the movie had already started. When I went to hotel, the food had already got over. Got it? So, had already gone, had already died. This is used with when. This can be used as soon as. This could be used by the time. By the time I reached railway station, the train had gone. By the time I reached the railway station, the train had gone. By the time I went to the theatre, the movie had started. When, by the time, as soon as. As soon as. Can you find as soon as? As soon as. See, for example, here, Musrat's siblings died first, right, sir? What do you mean by that? When Musrat was born, 5 of siblings had already died means when Musrat's siblings died first, then Musrat was born. This is the meaning, right? When I went to the theatre, the movie had started. Which happened first, sir? The movie had started. The movie started, then only I went to the theatre. Order. If you want to say in the past tense, you're using the chronological order. When you want to change it, the first incident happened. The second sentence had already died. This happened first, right? The first sentence happened second. When you change the order, you are using past perfect. With the verbs when. With the word already. With the word by the time. With the word as soon as. So, number third, see here, the fourth here. Notice the difference in meaning between these two sentences. These two sentences, you should be well aware of these two sentences. See here, when is that? You're using when. When is used with past perfect. Are you clear? When? When I got home. Okay, you are married. You are married, right? You are married. You are married. Are you married? No. Nobody is married. Only he is married. When I got home. Okay, my husband cooked a dinner. What do you mean by that? When I went to my home, my wife cooked dinner. Or when I got home, husband cooked dinner. This European style, you know. In European style, only husbands cook. Here, only Indian style, only wife cooks, right? So, this is Cambridge. So, these fellows are British fellows. So, there only husbands cook, not wife cook. They don't. Wife go for work and come and husband will cook. Okay. So, when I got home, my husband cooked dinner. What do you mean by that? I got home first. And then my husband cooked dinner, right? So the wife goes to the home, first incidents, okay? I went to home. I went to my home. My husband cooked dinner. So which happened first? I went to home, my wife cooked dinner. When I went to home, my wife cooked dinner. Which happened first, sir? Order, sequence. I went to my home first. My husband cooked second incident. So it is used in past tense, right? Only past tense. You are able to understand? I went to my home. My husband cooked, right? When I went to home, my husband cooked. So two incidents orderly. So you are using past tense. So what do you mean by that? After I went to my home, my husband cooked, right? Now you see this sentence here. I got home, my husband cooked dinner. So this I got home is the past tense. My husband cooked dinner is past tense. Are you clear? Two past tense. So here, now you see, when I got home, my husband had cooked dinner. When I went home or when I got home, my husband had cooked dinner. So, my husband cooked dinner before I got home. You got the meaning of these two sentences. When I got home, my husband cooked the dinner means after I went there to my home, my husband cooked the dinner. Second instance only husband cooked the dinner. When I got home, my husband had cooked dinner. Had cooked means what? I went there before I go there already he has prepared the food, right? You understood the past tense and past perfect, the difference, right? When you use had cooked means already it has happened. So, my husband had cooked the dinner. This is the past. I got home. See, next, this is the fifth place. To talk about an indefinite time. Indefinite time means what? Before a particular point in the past. What do you mean by indefinite time, sir? To talk about an indefinite time. What do you mean by indefinite time, sir? There's no time limit at all, right? No time limit at all. Before a particular particular point in the past. Okay, particular point in the past. See, Jesus Christ is born in the year 2000, isn't it? We shall keep it as 0. After that only we have got the time. 2015 years has passed, isn't it? Before that, it is indefinite. Okay, here, often with words like always, sometimes, never, before, by fixed time by 10 o'clock or by 2005 or whatever it is. See here, my family were richer. His family were richer than they had ever been before. What do you mean by that? His family were richer. What do you mean by his family were richer? In the past tense, his family were richer means what? They are rich. Here, why do you use were richer? His family. Family is in plural. His family were richer means what? His father, mother, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, aunt, everybody were richer in the past tense. Then they had ever been before. Ever been before means what? 2000. In the year 2000, his family were richer, right? In the year 2000, the family were richer. Before that, they have never been rich. So, his family were richer than they had ever been before. So, they were not as rich at any time before this point in the past, right? So, they were richer and they had never been richer before. That's the meaning, right? You got it? India had won the World Cup in the year 1983 and they had never won the World Cup before. Indians were champions in the cricket from 1983 and they had never been the champions. Means what? 1983 before. Any time they were never richer, right? Able to understand? So, a past tense before that unlimited time. So, there you are using with always. There you are using with sometimes. There you are using with never. There you are using with before. There you are using by with the fixed time. By the time he was 6. By the time he was 6. What do you mean by that? By the time he was 6 means what? Before 6 years, right? Before 6 years. By the time he was 6, the little boy had written a composition of his own. Composition means what, sir? Composing songs. Composition means what? Composition. Composition. Have you heard about it? Comprehension you have read in 10th standard, 12th standard. You read an essay and write the answer. It is called composition. Comprehension, sorry. Composition. What do you mean by that? An essay writing, right? Or song writing. Ilayaraja writes a song, composes a song. Composition, composes a song. So, by the time he was 6 means what? By the time he was 6, before that, before attaining the age of 6, he had written a composition of his own, right? By the time Rajinikanth was 60 years old, he had acted in 150 movies. What do you mean by that? Before the age of 60, he had acted in how many movies? 115 movies. So, by the time, before a particular time in the past, you want to mention, there you are using this past perfect, sir. To report past events, reporting verbs. The man told me he had met my father a long time before. Man told me, a man told me. He came and told me. The boy came and told me that he had met my father long time ago. Right? Able to understand? So, before that something has happened. So, now here, past perfect continuous. So, past perfect continuous, what you are using? See, had. Now, we have finished past perfect, sir. So, you understood where do you use past perfect? Had seen, had gone, had written. When you want to mention about the earlier incidents, right? By that particular time, infinite of time that you, there when you want to mention, you are using past perfect, sir. The difference between past tense and past perfect is, past tense is used in a chronological order. 1, 2, 3. Past instance you want to mention. You want to go back, then you are using the past perfect, sir. Now you come here to the next one. Next tense, your past perfect continuous. See, had been. So had plus, see, had plus been is past perfect, but had plus been plus verb plus ing. Verb means what? Eat, sleep, talk, jump, go. I had been. She had been studying for ages. Ages means what? For long time she had been studying for ages. Now this is negative, sir. Had not been plus verb plus ing. What do you mean by that? He had not been studying for long, right? He hadn't been studying for long. This is past perfect continuous. See, had eaten means past tense. Had been eating means past perfect continuous, right, sir? Now coming here, question mark. Had been plus verb plus ing. Had you been studying for long? This is a question mark. So this is positive, this is negative, this is questioning, right? Past tense. See, past perfect we have finished with the positive, negative and question. Now we have come here to the past perfect continuous in positive, negative and question, right? So are you clear? Now coming here, we use, where do we use the past perfect continuous? We use the past perfect continuous to focus on. To focus means what? To highlight and show how long an activity. Activity means what? One action. How long? Activity comes from the word activate. Activate comes from the word action. Action comes from the word act. So we use the past perfect continuous to focus on how long an activity continued. How long an activity are continued on, or to focus on the activity itself. When you want to show the activity, action alone, then you are using past perfect continuous, right? The Indian cricket team players had been working, right? Had been working. Tendulkar had been playing cricket from his age 6 onwards. Had been. You want to highlight the activity itself, only the activity. Then you are using had been. I had been studying hard for my examination. I had been studying. You want to focus on the action. Times were hard. What do you mean by times were hard? See, nowadays times were hard means what? Earlier when I came to Chennai first, to earn money it was very difficult. Times were hard means what? To get a job was very hard. The time. Times were hard means the time is difficult. Times were hard and the family. Times were hard because of that. Father didn't get a job or maybe his business is lost. The times were hard and the family had been struggling for some time. The family had been struggling for some time means what? You want to highlight the activity. What is the activity, sir? The family had been struggling. Family had been suffering. To show how long. For some time only, not all the time. See, for example, okay, Amitabh Bachchan is an actor, isn't it? So whenever he went for getting a chance, everybody told, you are a tall fellow, you are fit only to remove the web, all these things, right? All the dust and everything. You look such a lean man. So he had been struggling. He had been struggling to get a cinema chance. He had been struggling in the past. When he was 25 years old. Okay. The time is given. Okay, now coming here. Masoret's sister. Masoret's sister was extremely gifted. Gifted means what? Very lucky. Masoret's sister was extremely gifted at the keyboard. Keyboard means what, sir? In piano, in computer. piano and computer. It is the keyboard. So Mildred's sister was really gifted at the keyboard. At the keyboard means what? She is very good in playing the piano. And she had been making excellent progress. She had been making excellent progress means what? In the past, you're mentioning that activity of Muzrat's sister. She had been playing very well. She had been playing, right? Okay. Focus on the activity. When you want to focus on the activity, then you are using past perfect continuous. Now second place. This is the first place. This is the first place. Okay. Times. Now, where do you use? We cannot use the past perfect. Past perfect means, had eaten, had spoken, had written. Now you're going to find out the difference between past perfect and past perfect continuous. We cannot use the past perfect continuous. So now we have come here to the past perfect continuous. Had been eating. To say how many times something happened. How many times something happened? See, my dear friends, when you want to focus on the activity, then you are using past perfect continuous. I had been working hard. I had been working hard. He had been working hard for his examination. Had been working hard when he was young. He had been working hard for many times. Is it correct? Wrong. When you want to use the times, how many times, then you are using only past perfect. He had worked many times. He had tried many times. He had attended interview many times. Right? So, the times, how many times you have done in the past tense when you want to focus on the activity, then you are using only the past perfect and not the past perfect continuous. Right, sir? Are you clear? He had been studying many times. No, wrong. He had written the exam. He had been writing the examination many times. No, he had written the examination many times. He had been failing for many times. No, he had failed many times. So, when you want to tell some activity in numbers several times or whatever it is, you are using past perfect. So, my dear friends, over here, I knew the way. I knew the way. Way means what? Way means what? See, in Chennai, you want to go to, for example, Spencer Plaza. Right? I had gone many times. I had gone many times. See, I had gone many times. I had been going many times. No, I had gone many times. I had gone many times. So you don't know. I'm saying that I knew the way as I had visited her several times. Several times I had visited before. Right, sir? Now coming here. So when you want to mention about, when you want to show the activity, focus on the activity, saying that you had done certain things many times, several times before in the past tense, then you are using I had plus past participle with the times and not the past perfect continuous. Right, sir? Now coming here. State verbs. What do you mean by state verbs, sir? What do you mean by state verbs, sir? Love. I have been loving. I have been liking. I have been understanding. I have been knowing. All these are wrong. Love, like, know, understand. All are state verbs. I have been tasting. I have been what is that? Smelling. Wrong. All the state verbs you are supposed to use in continuous format. So, we use so this is the second place. We use the past perfect. See, some verbs do not generally have a continuous form. These state verbs do not generally have a continuous form. They don't have. We use the past perfect to talk about past disappointments. Past disappointments means what, sir? Past disappointments, right, sir? What do you mean by past disappointments, sir? You tried for I.E.L.T.S exam. You failed. That's a disappointment, right? Disappointment. You tried to be a police DSP. You wrote an examination. You were not selected. So it is a disappointment, right? So when you want to mention about the past disappointment or things that did not happen as expected, you expect something did not happen. When you want to mention the past disappointment, when you want to mention the past things which you expected and did not happen. See, the politician had expected had expected to be re-elected, right? A politician had expected to be re-elected. Who is the politician, sir? Okay, Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh, he was the Prime Minister of India. So he had expected, okay, take it like that. Let us not be personal. Okay, some other leader. The politician had expected to be really re-elected means what? He was an MP or he was a minister or he was a chief minister or he may be the prime minister. So he thought once again he will be elected. He thought. The politician had expected to be re-elected. But in the end, finally what happened? She only got 10% of the votes. How many percentage? Only 10% vote he got. He or she. So I had been hoping, okay, this is the politician had expected. So when you expect and when you don't get that, there you are using past perfect, right? I had expected. I had expected you to come for the marriage. So I had been hoping to go with my brother on his trip, but I was too sick to go. Okay, some exceptions are there. Hope you are able to understand, my dear friends. So far, to summarize, past perfect: had seen, had gone, had written. Where do we use when we want to mention about the earlier incidents from the past? Past tense one happened, before that something has happened. When you want to mention the two past tenses are there. When you want to mention the first past tense, there you are using past perfect, right? For example, two things. See, I work in TCS. Earlier, I worked in Wipro, right? Where did you work before? I had worked in Wipro as a marketing manager. Then I joined in TCS, whatever it is, right? When you want to mention from back to back, right? Back to back. When you want to mention, there you are using past perfect. When you want to say in a chronological order, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I joined there, then I joined here, then I came back. There you are using ordinary past tense. So this just and already you are using with the past perfect. It should be coming in between. Then we have already seen that as soon as, by the time, after, to show, like, when. So we are using with what? With past perfect, right? So with the past tense. Then coming here and past perfect continuous, we have seen where do you use past perfect continuous? When you want to highlight the activity, when you want to show the activity. Then state verbs, they don't have the past perfect continuous. Then whenever you are disappointed, whenever you are rejected, whenever you are dejected, there you are not supposed to use past perfect continuous. You